Hello everyone, and welcome to this video on how to program two ultrasonic sensors to use two eyes to find your opponent and then attack them. I want to stress this program is only for just using the ultrasonic sensors. It doesn't incorporate this into the entire program. We'll do that later. Let's start by seeing how you attach the two ultrasonic sensors to your robot. So the first thing I've done is remove the single L piece from the center, which held the original ultrasonic sensor. And I've attached two ultrasonic sensors to the side. The way I've done it is quite simple. I have just merely taken a 9-piece straight and used some black pins to connect it to the side. And then I've just connected the ultrasonic to that 9-piece. And I've done the same to the other side. I've attached the second ultrasonic sensor to sensor port 3. When you're thinking of adding ultrasonic sensors to your robot, be careful. If they are too close together, then there will be no difference between left and right. Your robot will usually just go straight. If they are too far apart, the left is over here, the right is all the way over there, then you run the danger of having your robot never see something in the center. And therefore it'll just go left, right, left, right, left, right. So be careful and play around with the distance in order to get the right distance for your robot. Okay, the first thing you have to do is create a loop because you want this to happen over and over again. Then you need to establish your variable, which is C. C is you write a numeric number and we want it to be 0. I already have the variable C in here. If you need to add that variable, you click on this button. Then we're going to do the first thing, which is to ask the ultrasonic sensor on the right side if it sees anything. So I click on ultrasonic sensor compare distance centimeters. So it's a 30 centimeters and port 2, which is the right side. If I see something on the right side, I want to add 1 to my current variable. So I'm going to get the value of C. I'm going to read it. Right now it's 0. And then I'm going to add 1 to it. So I take a math function, I feed that into there, and I add 1, which is the B. And what do I want to do that value? I want to put it back into the variable. And so I take C, put it here, and I'm going to write. And then I want to feed that in there. So if I see anything with the right sensor, read value C, which is 0, add 1 to it, and insert it in there. Now C is 1. So at this point, C could either be 1 or 0, depending if you see anything on the right side. Now I'm going to check the left side. There. Ultrasonic compare distance centimeters, 30, and this time the left side. If I see anything on the left side, I have to add 1 to C. So let's get it. Read it first, because it could be 0 or 1. Then I want to add 1 to it. And I want to put that number back into C. So now I have C is equal 1, 2, or 0. So now I'm going to ask the first question, which is, what is C? So I'm going to click on this. I'm going to read the number, see what it is. It could be 0, 1, or 2. I actually want to know, is it 2, which means the robot is directly in front of you? And so you take this one, and you feed that in there, and you ask it, does this equal 2? If it does, it will give a true value. If it doesn't, it will give a false value. So the way in which you separate is by using a logic switch. Just a regular switch, except this time we set it to logic. And we feed the logic into there. So if it is 2, therefore we want to go forward at 100 power. So got that. Set it on. Forward at 100 power. If it isn't, it means it's either 1 or 0, which means there's either nobody or there's somebody on one side. So we're going to ask the question, what is C? So again, we take it, and we're reading it. And this time we're going to say, is it 1? So we get this function over here, and we ask, is C 1? Again, it's going to return a true or false value. So we need a true or false logic switch. And feed that in there. All right, now it gets a little complicated. If it is 1, it means it's either on the left or the right. We have to figure out using some math. We're going to subtract the ultrasonic right from the ultrasonic left. So now we go to the yellow menu. And I actually want to obtain the values. So I want to obtain 2 ultrasonic sensor values. 2, which is the right side, and 3, which is the left side. And I want to subtract them from each other. So I go back to the red menu and get a simple math function. Boop. And I want right side, left side, subtract. So I want 2 minus 3. Right minus left. That's going to give me a number. I want to know, is that number more than 0 or less than 0? So, how do I do that? I need to use this function over here, insert that number in, and say, is it greater than 0? If it's greater than 0, it means I want to turn left. If it's less than 0, it means I want to turn right. So, I need another logic function. Let's get logic and feed it in there. So true means greater than 0. So I'm going to turn left. I want a tank turn because tank turns are nice sharp turns. Set it to on. And then when I want to turn, I actually don't want to turn too fast or I might just swivel all over the place. So I'm going to go 40 and negative 40, which is my left turn. And my right turn will be negative 40 and 40. So I found it's useful to go even slower. Let's go 20 and negative 20, negative 20, and 20. This should prevent your robot from swaying too much. If it hasn't returned a value of C as 1, and it hasn't returned a value of C as 2, it could only be 0. Therefore, I need to go forward, on, at 50 power. And this enables me to drive and use the 2 eyes to know if I need to go attack, go left, go right, or go normal. Here's a video showing the robot going from one side, and then it follows my hand and attacks. Here it comes from the other side. Again, if I put my hand there, it turns and attacks my hand. Pretty awesome. Thank you very much.